Hello students, today we are learning double displacement reaction under types of chemical reaction. Double displacement reaction means the chemical reaction in which one component each of both the reacting molecule is exchanged to form the products. Let us see how it happens. Here cations and anions of two different compounds switch places. They exchange their places. That means there is a mutual exchange of ions taking place in this reaction. So entirely two different compounds will be formed. So two compounds, they combine to form two new compounds by mutually exchanging ions between them. Let us see how it happens. Here, let us take one example. There are two compounds. One compound is AB and another one is a CD. C and D. They combine. Now what happens? So in aqueous solution, always this double displacement reaction takes place in a solution form. So in solution form, the compounds are in a ionic state. So let us see how it divides. So this will form, first it will form A plus and B minus, and other side it will form C plus and D minus. These are the ions which are present in the solutions of compound AB and CD. Now this A plus will combine with the D minus and C plus will combine with the B minus. Always whenever compound is formed, the cation combines with anion to form a compound. So this is how the reaction takes place. How many times the reaction has been taken place? Two times exchange has been taken place. So two times displacement of ions. That is why double displacement. So let us learn this with the help of one example. Let us take the example of one barium chloride. Barium chloride solution we have to take. Let us write it. So what is the chemical formula for barium chloride? Barium chloride is BaCl2. It's a solution which is colorless. You have to take that in a test tube, and then you will take in another test tube, you will take a same amount of sodium sulfate solution. Sodium sulfate is Na2SO4. That is again solution. Now what happens? These will dissociate into ions. What is the next step? Next step, Ba2 plus and 2Cl minus ions are formed, and they will combine with 2Na plus and 1 SO4 2 minus ion. See how they dissociate into ions. Barium chloride has dissociated into barium ion and chloride ion, and sodium sulfate has dissociated into 2 sodium ions and 1 sulfate ion. Now the mutual exchange of ion will take place. Barium will combine with sulfate ion and chloride ion, and sodium will combine together. Now let us write the formula. That means equation we need to write. BaCl2, that is aqueous, combines with the sodium sulfate, which is again a solution. So you need to write aqueous. They combine to form a precipitate, white colored precipitate. So precipitate you can either represent with downward arrow or you can represent with a solid symbol. Then next sodium chloride will be formed. So two molecules of sodium chloride will be formed. That is aqueous solution. That is in the solution. Now barium sulfate is a white colored precipitate. You can see from the diagram only, you can see this. So in this picture you can see above the precipitate, white colored precipitate is of barium sulfate, and below you have a solution of sodium chloride. This is how the reaction takes place. Barium chloride combines with sodium sulfate to form a white colored precipitate of barium sulfate and a solution of sodium chloride. You can see here two times displacement. There is a mutual exchange of ions between these compounds. That is why double displacement name has been come. Now let us learn some other examples. See, this double displacement reaction is of three types. One is neutralization reaction, then precipitation reaction, last one is a gas formation reaction. So precipitation reaction we already have learned. Let us learn in detail about neutralization reaction. What happens in neutralization reaction? That is a type of a double displacement reaction in which the acid reacts with base to form a salt and water. Let us learn them. So acid, let us take one example for that. Let us write hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid combines with sodium hydroxide, which is a base, to form sodium chloride, and water is formed. So you can conclude that what is a neutralization reaction? The reaction in which acid reacts with a base to form salt and water. What is formed here? Salt and water are formed. Acid has been neutralized by the base. That is why neutralization reaction. So acid reacts with a base to form salt and water. Now here, in aqueous solution, always this reaction will take place only in a solution form. So you need to write the symbols aqueous, and this is also aqueous, and water is a liquid. Now what happens in this reaction? Again in solution form, H plus and Cl minus are formed, and Na plus and OH minus ions are formed. As a result, here H plus will combine with OH minus, Na plus will combine with Cl minus. That is how sodium chloride and water are formed. Now two times exchange of ion and mutual exchange of ions between the elements, that has led to the formation of entirely different compounds. This is called as a neutralization reaction. Why neutralization reaction? Because the acid has been neutralized by the base, forming salt and water. Now here, this acid-base reaction, neutralization reaction, results in the formation of salt. Salt is a neutral, but it is not always neutral. It depends on the type of acid or the base. Let us see if strong acid and strong base like HCl. HCl is a strong acid. Strong acid reacts with a strong base. Then neutral salt will be strong base. Then neutral salt will be formed. Neutral salt and water will be formed. What about strong acid and weak base? Then there will be acidic salt and water will be formed. So here strong acid plus weak base. Then what is formed? Acidic salt is formed. Acidic salt plus water will be formed. Now if weak acid plus strong base, then there will be basic salt plus water will be formed. Why basic salt is formed? You know, acidic property means H plus ions will be there, and basic property means OH minus ion. H plus ions are less in weak acid, whereas strong base OH minus ions are more. So here H plus ions are not enough to neutralize OH minus ion. So OH minus ions will be remaining in the salt. That is why basic salt is formed. In strong acid and weak base, just opposite reaction. That means strong acid more H plus ion, weak base less OH minus ion. So H plus ions will be remaining in the solution. That is why acidic salt is formed. Now let us learn some other examples for precipitation reaction. Let us learn what is a precipitation reaction. Precipitation means a insoluble solid in a solution. What is precipitation? Precipitation means formation of an insoluble solid in a solution. So when it takes place, a formation of insoluble solid in a solution is during a chemical reaction. That type of chemical reaction is known as precipitation reaction. The reaction in which a precipitate is formed, the insoluble solid is formed, that is known as precipitation reaction. Let us learn through some examples. So first one you already learnt, barium chloride combines with sodium sulfate to form barium sulfate and sodium chloride. Second example, let us write the second example for that. That is silver nitrate. Silver nitrate AgNO3 combines with sodium chloride to form silver chloride plus sodium nitrate. Now I told you the double displacement reaction can take place only in the solution form. So these two reactants are aqueous solutions, and silver chloride is a solid, it is a precipitate, and sodium nitrate is a aqueous solution. So here precipitate is formed and the mutual exchange of ions, how it takes place? Ag plus and NO3 minus plus Na plus and Cl minus. They exchange. How they exchange? Ag will combine with the Cl and Na will combine with the NO3. That is how we will get silver chloride and sodium nitrate. This silver chloride is a precipitate and the sodium nitrate is a solution. So we have to write that it is already balanced. Now next example is lead nitrate combines with the sodium iodide. Let us write the formula for lead nitrate. What is that? PbNO3 whole twice plus sodium iodide NaI. These both are aqueous solutions. So lead nitrate combines with the sodium iodide solution to form lead iodide, that is PbI2, which is a precipitate, and sodium nitrate will be formed. So let us balance this. This sodium nitrate is a solution, so aqueous, and this is a solid. So now let us balance this. First, how it dissociates into ions? Pb2 plus and 2NO3 1 minus, and the next Na plus and I minus. That forms, how it is formed? PbI2 and NaNO3. Now you have to balance. How you have to balance? It is a PbI2, so 2I minus should be there, and as soon as you write 2NaI, Na also becomes a 2. So let us balance that. Here 2NaNO3 you have to write, then it is a balanced. So PbI2 plus 2NaNO3. Now PbI2 is a precipitate. Now next example, barium chloride combines with the copper sulfate. Barium chloride, which is a salt solution, so aqueous, combines with copper sulfate, which is a blue colored solution. Blue colored solution forms barium sulfate, which is a precipitate, and then copper chloride is formed, which is aqueous solution. So here you have to remember how it dissociates into ions. Ba2 plus 2Cl minus combines with Cu2 plus and SO4 2 minus. Exchange of ion, Ba2 plus combines with sulfate ion and copper will combine with 2 chloride ion. That is how barium sulfate and copper chloride are formed here. Barium sulfate is a white colored precipitate. Remember, lead iodide formed here, that is yellow precipitate, and silver chloride is a white colored precipitate. These all color change you have to remember. And next type of double displacement reaction we have to learn, that is gas formation. Double displacement reaction also occurs due to the formation of insoluble gases. That is the gas formation reaction. Let us see one example. Zinc sulfide. Zinc sulfide combines with the hydrochloric acid to form zinc chloride and H2S gas. This gas is insoluble in water. So let us see how to balance this. So you need to write a 2HCl, then a H2 and a Cl2. Now next one more example you can understand, that is calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate, which is also called as marble chip, combines with a dilute hydrochloric acid, which is aqueous solution. Calcium carbonate is a solid, to form calcium chloride and carbonic acid. This carbonic acid is unstable. It is unstable. So it further decomposes to form water and carbon dioxide. Calcium. So what is the final reaction? Calcium chloride, water and carbon dioxide are formed. Let us write the final equation for this. Calcium carbonate, which is a solid, combines with the hydrochloric acid to form calcium chloride, water and carbon dioxide. Intermediate product is a carbonic acid. So with this we are concluding the double displacement reaction. What it says, double displacement, in the double displacement reaction, two compounds are exchanging ions or elements to form two new compounds. There is a mutual exchange of ions between the two compounds to form two new compounds. Now let us learn the difference between displacement reaction, that is single displacement reaction, and double displacement reaction. We have to learn that. This is very important. Sometimes in the exam question will be asked, differentiate between displacement reaction and double displacement reaction. So first you already learned about displacement reaction. What it says, there more reactive element will displace less reactive element from its salt solution. Remember, more reactive element will displace a less reactive element from its salt solution. But in double displacement, just now we learned what happens. Two substances react to form two new substances. How? By mutually exchanging ions between them. There is a mutual exchange of ions. And in a single displacement reaction, one time displacement, only one displacement takes place. Whereas in a double displacement, we can see there is a two displacement. Before the reaction has to complete, there should be two displacement. That is why double displacement. So in single displacement, one displacement will be there. In double displacement, two displacement. Now how the reaction takes place? For example, you can take the example of iron combining with copper sulfate to form ferrous sulfate and copper. Here there will be color in the solution, but there is no precipitate formation. You have to remember, color change will be there. Here blue color solution of copper sulfate changes into green colored solution of ferrous sulfate, but there is no precipitate. But in double displacement reaction, generally precipitate is formed. Other than a neutralization reaction, there will be precipitate formation. For example, barium chloride combines with sodium sulfate to form a barium sulfate, that is a solid white colored precipitate, and a aqueous solution of sodium chloride. Sodium sulfate is a aqueous solution. Remember, double displacement takes place only in a solution form. So you need to write below the reactants, you need to write aqueous. With this, we are ending our session. I hope you all understood the double displacement reaction and the difference between single displacement reaction and double displacement. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you.